Okay, I hope I'm audible to all students who are attending this lecture of Mathematical Methods for Economics, Part 1. We continue with our lectures on linear algebra. The broad topic for the set of lectures is linear algebra. Formally, it consists of chapter 12, 13, and 14 of the book, which I prefer to follow for the lectures, which is Sater and Hammond. Okay, and within this broad topic, the subtopic which we are doing is matrices, matrix algebra, and formally this is chapter 12 of the book Sater and Hammond. Okay. Now, if all of you can recall, in the last lecture of matrix algebra, we had done the basic definition of matrices. We had talked about addition of matrices and multiplication by a scalar. We had also done some practice questions in the previous lecture. Okay. Now, in this lecture, we intend to start with a new topic within matrix algebra. So all students can write the heading. This is matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication. So this is a fresh topic within matrix algebra. Okay, so let's learn how to multiply two matrices. Okay, so first let's look at the definition. Suppose I have a matrix capital A, which is Aij, which is a M cross N matrix. And we have another matrix capital B, which is Bij, which is N cross P. The order of the first matrix is M cross N. The order of the second matrix is N cross P. Then the product denoted by C, the product denoted by matrix C, which is A into B, is the M cross P matrix. Is the M cross P matrix. C equal to Cij M cross P, whose element in the ith row, and the jth column is the scalar product, Cij. Okay, Cij is equal to AI1 into B1j plus AI2 into B2j. Okay, AI2 into B2j plus I can continue AIN into BNJ. Okay, so now this is the definition, but you will understand this in a better way when I actually show you the multiplication in numericals. So first, let's go through the definition once again. Suppose I have a matrix capital A, which is Aij, which is an M cross N matrix. Matrix capital B, which is Bij, which is N cross P matrix. Now, guys, understand this. Multiplication of two matrices is possible only when the column of the second matrix and the row of the first matrix are the same. I repeat, you can multiply two matrices only if the column of the first matrix and the row of the second matrix are the same. If they are not same, you cannot multiply two matrices. That is one thing. Second thing is, if I show to you, suppose my matrix A looks like this on the screen. This is A11, A12, this is A1n, A21, A22, A2n, and this is AN1, AN2, ANN. AM1, let me correct myself, guys. This is AM1, AM2, and AMN. You can clearly see this is a M cross N matrix, and we are multiplying it by Bij, which is N cross P. That means B11, B12, and B1P, B21, B22, then we have B2P, and I can extend it to BN1, BN2, and BNP. You can clearly see this is the N cross P matrix. So let us now see, when we multiply these two matrices, what do we get? So to understand that, guys, first of all, I'm erasing all the initial part. Okay, I am erasing all the initial part. You know the topic, you know the definition now. The definition is not very important. What is important is how to numerically apply the multiplication formula. The definition was done just for completeness. Otherwise, what really matters is how you actually multiply the two matrices. Okay, so I'm erasing everything here. And on the top of the screen, you will see that I will now be multiplying these two matrices. Okay, so now let's multiply them. So what will I get? So this is my matrix A. This is my matrix B, and my matrix C, which is A into B, will be what? First row multiplied by the first column. So see, A11 into B11 plus A12, A12 into B21, and I can extend it to A1n into Bn1. So I can write it as A1n into Bn1. This is, guys, just one element. This is one element we have got. Another element will be, again, multiply the first row with the second column. So A11 into B12, A11 into B12 plus dot 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 A1n into Bn2, A1n into Bn2, and I can extend it. And now I will multiply the first row with the last column. So what will that give me? A11 into B1p plus dot 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 A1n into BNP. So I hope students have understood how we are multiplying. First row multiplied by first column, first row multiplied by second column, first row multiplied by the last column. Then you know the drill. Second row multiplied by the first column. So A21 times B11 plus I can keep on going. Okay. Here also, guys, let me just for simplicity just take two terms so that it's crystal clear to all students. This will be A1n times Bn1. Here also I am taking A21 into B11 plus dot 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 A2n into Bn1. My second term will be multiply the second row with the second column. So A21 into B12 plus dot dot dot, I can stretch it to A2n into Bn2. A2n into Bn2. Okay. And similarly, I can stretch it forward and I can multiply the last row. Sorry, I can multiply this second column with the last column. The second row with the last column. So this is going to be A21 times B1P, and I can stretch it to A2n times BNP. So A2n times BNP. And you can see I can continue with this. Last row multiplied by the first column. So AM1 times B11 plus AMN times BN1. Then the last row multiplied by the second column. So AM1 times B12. Okay. Plus I can extend it to AMN times BN2. And then guys, I can further stretch it, and the last element will be the last row multiplied by the last column, which is AM1 times B1P plus my last element will be AMN times BNP. So this whole is my matrix C, which is nothing but A into B. So I hope students have learned how to multiply two matrices. Okay, let's do practice question, guys. Okay. Okay, so let's start with these practice questions. Let's start with these practice questions. First question, compute the product of 103, 215 with another matrix 1, 3, 2, 5 and 6, 2. So guys, you can clearly see that the first matrix is 2 cross 3 and the second matrix is 3 cross 2. So our resulting matrix will be what, guys? You can clearly see this matrix multiplication is possible because this 3 is equal to this 3. So my resulting matrix will be 2 cross 2. Okay. Now how will I find that matrix? 1 into 1 plus 0 into 2 plus 3 into 6. That gives me the first element. Then 1 into 3, 1 into 3 plus 0 into 5 plus 3 into 2 gives me the second element. Let's come to the second row. 2 into 1 plus 1 into 2 plus 5 into 6 gives me the element in the first row, second row, first column. And similarly 2 into 3 plus 1 into 5 plus 5 into 2, that gives me the element in the last row and last column. So now we can calculate this. 1 plus 18, which is 19. Okay. 3 plus 6, which is 9. 2 plus 2, 4. And 4 plus 30 is 34. And 2 into 3, 6. 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 10, 21. So this is, you can clearly see it's a 2 cross 2 matrix. And this is the answer for this question. Okay, let's work out the second question. Suppose the matrix A is 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, -1, 6, and the matrix B is 3, 2, 1, 0, and -1, 1. The question now asks us, compute the product AB and is BA defined? Is BA defined? So guys, if you look at matrix A, it's a 3 cross 3. If you look at matrix B, it is 3 cross 2. So is the product AB defined? Yes, because this 3 is same as this 3. And the resulting matrix will be 3 cross 2. So if we quickly find it, guys, what will AB be? Now we can quickly do it orally. 0 into 3 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into -1. What does it come out? -1. 0 into 2 plus 1 into 0 plus 2 into 1. It comes out as 2. 2 into 3 plus 3 into 1 plus 1 into -1 comes out as 8. 2 into 3, 2 into 2 plus 3 into 0 plus 1 into 1 comes out as 5. And 4 into 3 plus -1 into 1 plus 6 into -1 comes out as 5. And similarly, 4 -1, 6, you multiply by 201 and add them up, you get 14. So this is my product AB, which is clearly a 3 cross 2 matrix. Now the question asks us, is BA defined or not? Now the order of matrix B is nothing but 3 cross 2, and the order of matrix A is nothing but 3 cross 3. You can clearly see 2 is not equal to 3. So therefore, matrix BA is not defined. Matrix BA is not defined. Because for the matrix multiplication to be possible, the column of the first matrix should exactly be equal to the row of the number of rows of the second matrix. So hoping that students have understood this. Okay. And now guys, let's quickly look at another question. Okay. Question 3. So initially, three firms A, B, and C share the market. Suppose, so guys, it's an economics application. So question 3 is very important. It's an eco application. So three firms A, B, and C share the market for a certain commodity. Okay. Firm A has 20% of the market. Okay. Firm B has 60% of the market. And firm C has 20% of the market. Now they have given in the course of next year, following changes take place. In the course of next year, following changes take place. Okay, we are given the changes, guys. A keeps 85% of its customers. A keeps 85% of its customers. while losing 5% to B and 10% to C. Second, we are given B keeps 55% of its customers while losing 10% to A and 35% to C. Third observation, C keeps 85% of its customers while losing 10% to A and 5% to B. Okay, so now the question asks you a market share vector. A market share vector is defined as the column vector S whose components are all non-negative, and sum up to 1. Okay, and now they also give you define the matrix T, as the transition matrix. Define the matrix T as the transition matrix where Tij denotes percentage of J's customers who become I's customers. In the next period. Okay, now what is the question asking you? The question is asking you compute the matrix T into S, compute T into S and interpret it. Okay, compute T into S and interpret it. Okay, so let's solve this question. You can see the question itself in terms of solving is not too large, but the question itself is very large. So I will have to obviously erase some part to solve it because the space is limited. So first of all, hoping that students have written down this question, let us quickly give it a read. There are 3 firms A, B, and C who share the market for a certain commodity. A has 20% of the market, B has 60% of the market, and C has 20% of the market. And then they have given that the following changes are taking place. So now guys, what we are doing, I am erasing only the first paragraph. Hoping that students have written down this question by now, I am just erasing the first paragraph. Okay, and let's solve this question. Let's build the transition matrix. Let's build the market share matrix and let us see what is T into S. Okay, so guys, first of all, if I ask you what is the market share matrix, it is actually, you can see it's actually a column vector. Column vector means it has only one column. So if you can read, how much has A has? A has 20% of the market, so 0.2. B has 60% of the market, so 0.6. Okay, and C has 20% of the market, so 0.2. This is my market share vector. This is my market share vector. Now let us see what is capital T. Okay, so capital T is nothing but my transition matrix. Now transition matrix will capture what are the changes which have happened in the next period. So if I ask you, it will have components as T11, T12, T13 and so on. So I can write it like this: T11, T12, T13, T21, T22, T23, T31, T32 and T33. Now guys, can we fill up all these components? What will T11 be? So Tij is what? Look at Tij, percentage of J's customers who become I's customers. So T11 will be percentage of A's customers who continue to remain A's customers only. Now you can see A keeps 85% of its customers. So what is my answer? My T11 is nothing but 0.85. What will T12 be? T12 is percentage of B's customers which become A's customers. Now B is losing how much to A? 10% to A. So T12 will be 0.1. I again repeat, T12 is percentage of B's customers which become A's customers. How much is B giving to A? 10%. T13 will be percentage of C's customers which become A's customers. C is giving how much to A? 10%. So this is nothing but 0.1. What will T21 be? Percentage of percentage of A's customers which now become B's customers. So how much is A giving to B? 5%. So this becomes 0.05. T22 will be percentage of B's customers which B is retaining. How much is B retaining? 55%. T23 means percentage of C's customers which now become B's customers. Okay, so C is giving 5% to B. Similarly, guys, T31 will be percentage of A's customers which are gone to B. T32 will be percentage of B's customers which are gone to C. And T33 are the percentage of customers retained by C, 85%. So this is nothing but my transition matrix. So I hope students have understood this. Now guys, when we multiply these two matrices, so I am erasing all this now. I hope students have noted this down. So erasing all this. Now guys, when we multiply these two matrices, what do we actually get? So let's work that out. So the question is asking us to compute T into S. Okay, so T into S will be 0.85, 0.1, 0.1. And similarly, I can write the whole matrix T. And this matrix is getting multiplied by the matrix S, which is as follows. You can see it's a 3 cross 3. It's a 3 cross 1. Is matrix multiplication possible? Yes, because the two are equal. The column of the first matrix exactly equals the rows of the second matrix. So can we compute it? This into this plus this into this plus this into this. What will we get? You can work it out. We get 0.25. This into this plus this into this plus this into this, 0.35. This into this plus this into this plus this into this, 0.40. You can see clearly it's a 3 cross 1 matrix. Now, what is it telling us? It is now telling us that what is the new market share now? What is the new market share? So you can clearly see that A initially had, so A initially had 20% of the share. Now A has 25% of the market share after the transition has happened. B had how much share? B had 60% of the share. Now B only has 35% of the market share. So B has lost market share. And C initially had 20% of the market share. Now C has 40% of the market share. So I can say this is my new market share vector. New market share vector after one period. This is my new market share vector after one period. Now guys, if I ask you, if I multiply TS further with T, so what is T into TS? So this will give me the market share vector after two periods. Similarly, if I ask you what is T into T into T into S? Okay, if I ask you what is T into T into T into S, this will be the market share vector after three periods. So I hope students have understood this. Okay, this is the market share vector after three periods. Okay, so this is where I intend to stop now, guys. Homework question for all students. Okay, homework question for all students is as follows. So for this particular lecture, all students can note down the homework which you will solve at home. Okay, these are problems. Section 12.7, page 427 of Sater and Hammond. Okay, this is section 12.7. Again, guys, the problems of this are very simple. And I will be uploading on the server also the solutions for these. So access will be given to all students for the solutions also. Otherwise, you can start solving these questions. They are very easy questions. Okay. So guys, this is where I intend to stop. In the next lecture of linear algebra, we will be looking at the rules for matrix multiplication. Then we'll talk about identity matrices and so on. So we will continue with this topic in the next lecture as well. So I hope all students have enjoyed this lecture. Any doubt you have regarding this lecture, you can unmute your mic and ask, or you can call up, or you can mail me your doubts at divineschoolofeconomics@gmail.com. So this is where I stop.